Okay, my thoughts. As I say, this channel is really just ideas that has been going through my head, and there's hardly anyone watching, so I might as well just keep on talking and stuff. So, and exactly my point. And when I go onto YouTube and I look at, these people and they're making £1 million like an episode or something like that. They make a lot of money through adverts and stuff. And there's YouTube channels. Their YouTube channels was like with businesses, like a group of people would get together and they sell T-shirts and they sell the brand. That's the work, but they also go to work themselves. Probably not quite making 1 million, but they're making a profit probably in order to buy more stuff for the to me up their channels. But for me, I'm an old man now, but for me, I love doing it because I get to unload my ideas, my thoughts. And when I started Facebook page, or when I started a Facebook, I started there to connect with people long gone, well, from my life that is, and find out how they're doing, what they're doing with their lives and stuff like that. But then it became an obsession. I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop, looking and checking, and it became very addictive. And I hear people in the park talking about it, and then you look at stuff. And I know I've talked about this before in my previous video channels, but but this is just my thought process. And but then you could text something and it could be misunderstood, or messages or phone. It could always be misunderstood. These YouTube videos could also be misunderstood and come back to you. We hear of people's tweets that, as I said, go and it could finish people's careers, something that they've said 20 years ago. And as I've said in previous videos, people are constantly changing day and day. People are always getting influenced, though they may not know it. So as I was looking at these people that do it as a business, 1 million subscribers, and they put links and they've got all these wee funny gadgets. I mean, look at me. This is a laptop, right? There's a light over there. Family's upstairs. I'm not bothering about the quality of the video. For me, the quality really is what I say and what I mean from my heart and my thoughts. This is like the real me, and I try to put that on the video and not try to sell myself as though I know better than you guys or girls out there. Because life is hard as it is, to try to accept oneself for being the way that we all are. So I find, and when I think back to when YouTube started, and you had those videos like You've Been Framed, those programs on TV where people were caught with a video camera making mistakes. That's the way I pictured YouTube. But now it's became a business. It's became a money market. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. And I've seen many, what I look at, people being successful, their videos getting 1,000 watches, but then only getting 500 subscribers. And then I think that's the addictiveness, watching these videos and then trying to enhance your video so more and more people will see it. And then I'm thinking, and then I see videos saying, why should people tune in to listen to what you're saying, what I'm saying? Why should people tune into that? And I'm thinking, I think people are approaching YouTube in the wrong way. And I like to think of it in many ways, like I did with Facebook at one point, and it still guts me that I closed it down because I uploaded so many personal videos that YouTube will not allow me to do because of music or anything copyright and stuff. But my life, but I forget that the world out there is nothing to do with me. it's the family, people around you that are most important. And we forget, you know, we look at modern society and people are on their phones and their loved one is sitting beside them on their phones, and we forget that. So as I make these YouTube channels, and it's not meant to be an excuse or anything, but for me, it's for my own personal gain. So when people ask these so-called YouTube professionals that have got 1 million or so subscribers, what is it that, who's it for? Who's your YouTube channel for? And then that's the audience you go for. Well, this YouTube channel and my other 2 YouTube channels is really just for me. It's getting my voice out. It's like a psychiatrist in a way. I get to talk to this is going to be fun. I get to talk to somebody who really gets me and who understands where I'm coming from, and that's myself. And this is why you don't need a psychiatrist. Okay, and I did see someplace that YouTube is actually good for people that are feeling lonely. Not that I'm feeling lonely. I've got a family, but I think in some weird way we're all alone, right? It's my tattoo there. It's a lone wolf, you know. I always thought of myself as a loner, but I tend to think that YouTube is a way to just get your feelings out. And if somebody's nice enough to like it or to watch it or to even find you under this humongous channels out there of people, for somebody to find that and like it, just the one like or one view is just good enough. And if nobody watches you, is that a reason to stop? Are you doing something wrong? No, you're just being you. And I know that after watching YouTube, I actually seen one YouTuber that's got 1 million subscribers, and his first video's basically quite like mine, quite like my YouTube videos, and he's changed his channel in order to please, the millions out there. And for me, that's still really what makes society bad, is that we have all this stuff out there. We have the so-called, as I said, freedom of speech and everything else, but the popular opinion will always get the most attention, right? The mainstream way of doing anything will always get the attention, and people will listen to that and do that. That's why you had, say for instance, the Marvel films. They had a certain way of making films, so people are pleased to that, so they'll constantly make that. It's like any industry. You get something they like, and people will flock to it. You make something different, you'll get a negative reaction because they've been so much sort of brainwashed into watching things that way. So for me, I personally prefer something that looks homegrown, homemade, and nobody's putting on an act. Nobody's being cheerful 24/7. And hey, and what's this? This is the latest news in, right? And I don't believe this. Welcome to my channel. I love you and you love me. That could be well and them, but I like listening to somebody about things with the sincerity attached to it. And I believe if you earn money through that, if you make a lot of money, it could change you. Money changes everything. I mean, I can't, if somebody's making $1 million odd quid a year, right? $1 million or whatever a year, then you got to ask yourself, God, why are you still carrying on? You just love the money. You just love, what is it? It's because it's becoming an addiction. And they can't stop it. And what's going to happen when they lose all those views? What's going to happen to them mentally? So these are little things I keep wondering. I mean, as I say, I closed the Facebook page. And it's hard not to but I don't want to restart that. because I'll never be able to create like my page or my, the way I had it. But with YouTube, I think maybe the smaller is the better, because you get to connect more with people out there. The comments are more chance to get looked at, rather than somebody that's got a million odd followers and is I don't know, but these are just my thoughts and my ideas. Is the smaller YouTube channel better than the big ones? And unfortunately, because of businesses and everything else, you're more likely to find the big unrealistic channels than you are with the most heartfelt ones. Ones comes from quiet people that are yearning to be heard, but is still scared to commit to something that's going to shove them in the limelight just as quick. So let me know your ideas and your thoughts about this channel, about any channel. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching.